Good evening, everybody. November 38 Alpha Kilo, Cockpitbuilders.com, live on Twitch. Good to see you. Hopefully everybody's ready for a good flight. We're leaving 29 Palms, and we're heading for Chihuahua, Mexico. Let's get started.
Good afternoon, Eagle County Ground, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo. We're at the ramp ready for taxi, runway 25. We'll take the apron, Alpha 3 to Alpha, runway 25, hold short, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo. Clear to Ottawa, Leicester 2, runway 6 left, 0544, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo. Clear land, runway 7, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo.
Good evening, everybody. November 38 Alpha Kilo, Cockpitbuilders.com. Tonight, it is Sunday. Hopefully, everybody's doing well. We're sitting on the ramp at 29 Palms, which is a military base, and therefore, there's really shitty scenery around here. So, really, nothing to look at. We got drones sitting in front of us, ready to go, and hopefully, we're going to have a good flight tonight. Appreciate you coming with us, drone. We're going to do a quick radio check as soon as we get everything on here. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get things started. Hopefully, everybody's having a good evening. Thanks very much for being here. The nav lights are on, the beacon lights coming on, seatbelt signs are on, bleeds and blowers are off, engines fuel control is cut off, parking brake is set. We'll go ahead and spin number 2. All right, here we go. We've got ignition start, N1 rotation, ITT's rising, oil pressure's coming up. Oil pressure light will go off at 40 psi. Watching for that. How's it going, Nate? Good to see you, buddy. Really good to see you, my friend. All right, oil light is out through 10.5, and goes the fuel. Watching the ITT to make sure it climbs at a nice, easy, steady pace. And nothing out of the ordinary. The N1, N2 is all good. And the oil pressure or fuel flow doesn't run away. There comes 50%. And we'll do starter cutout. Red Theater... Oh, Red the Aviator. Sorry, is raiding with a party of 3. Thanks very much for the raid, Red. Good to see you. And welcome to your viewers. Thanks for being here. What's going to happen on this journey? Who knows? Roundabout? Who knows? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. How's it going, roundabout? Good to see ya. All right, number 2 is going to high idle. And we'll kick in the generator. Generator comes up. We've got the voltage. Everything looks good. Gen 2's off. Here we go. Number 1. Here we go. We've got ignition start, N1 rotation. ITT's rising. Oil pressure's coming up. Oil pressure light, again, 40 psi. There she goes, and in goes Gen 2, and in goes the fuel. What's going on there, Red the Aviator? Good to see you. Thanks very much for bringing some friends with you. We're on our way to Chihuahua, Mexico. We're just firing up the KingAir right now. There's 50%, starter cutout, master caution. Wait for that engine to stabilize. There we go. And both engines to low idle. I'll check that generator. It comes on. We pick up the load. Gen 2 is going off. Master caution, and all the load shifts to Gen 1. Gen 2 goes back on. Gen 1 goes off. Master caution, and we'll reset Gen 1. Everything looks pretty good there. We'll put the avionics on. Pitot heat, windshield heat. Taxi light can go a flicker. Let these guys know. Bleeds and blowers are on. 1-notch flap is set. Parking brake is going off. we're out of here. And runway 28 for departure, guys. Runway 28 for departure. We've got a bit of a taxi ahead of us to go all the way down to runway 28. So let's go ahead and do that. Give him another flash. Hey, pay attention to me. All right, we're going. All right, let's go. .29 Palms traffic, King Air November 38 Alpha Kilo. We're gonna taxi and backtrack runway 28 for departure 28. 29 Palms.
Short Delta Charter will be tracking to runway 28 via Echo.
Tonight, you're breaking up. All right. Predictions have been reset, guys. We're going to backtrack 28. It's a bit of a long taxi.
How's that?
5x5, sir. Thank you. All right, engines can go up to high idle now. EGPWS test.
Sink rate. Pull up terrain. Don't sink. Too low. Gear. Glide slope. Minimums. Bank angle. 150. 40. 30. 20. 10. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
Clear on the right. Clear on the left. All right, prop governor test on. RPM increase. That looks good. Prop sync going on. Welcome to the stream, guys. Good to have you here. Regular Sunday night flight. On a little bit of a time constraint, we were a little late getting started and trying to be down and off and finished by 9:15 or so, but we'll see how that goes. We all know how that goes. All right, 3022 on both sides. 21,000 is the altimeter setting for both sides. Not much in the way of weather. You got jokes? Not really, Replica. No jokes here, man. Nothing but the facts here, man. Nothing but the facts. Would be really good when we're off for 2 weeks at Christmas and then there's kind of literally no bedtimes, but... Yeah, exactly, Replica. Oh, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Time constraints sometimes are a necessity in life. Sometimes. You know how it is. Take this all the way to the end, folks. Runway 28 for departure. Recognition lights can go on now. The floodlight on the tail can go on. We'll put the TCAS on. There it goes. A little bit of a delay to it. We got her up. Winds are 148 at 5. Maybe 28's not the right runway for this. Oh well.
No, I thought 10, the other one was.
Yeah, it probably was. I just stupidly didn't look at the METAR. Oh well, we're going with this one.
Yeah, I was going to remind you, but I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. It's only 5 knots. Not going to kill us. Winds were 160 at 9, according to this. I'm doing good, Flying Tommy. How are you, sir? Disavowed is definitely not fired. Neil J, no. I still have not recovered from that hillbilly juice. What's funny about that shit is I actually asked, what's this? Zodia said, I don't know, try it. Tried it. Ended up off. I don't know what the hell happened. I still don't know what the hell. If that was just a glitch or if that's actually what the shit's supposed to do. All right, here we go. Getting to the end of runway 28, guys. Thanks very much for hanging out with us on a Sunday night. We all know it's a lot of fun. LNAV is coming up, going to be armed. We got the flight director on that side, flight director on this side. Ooh, that's a little fast. 29 Palms traffic, KingAir November 30 Alpha Kilo. We're positioned to hold runway 28, departure to the south, 29 Palms. All right, taxi lights going off, strobe lights are going on. Bleeds and blowers, they're going off. LNAV is armed.
29 Palm traffic, November 54 Delta Charlie is holding short, runway 28, and it will be departing to the south.
What do you mean, what script am I using for failures? My own written script. Alrighty, y'all, I gotta take off myself. See y'all. Red the Aviator, thanks very much for bringing your friends. They'll be in great company here, my friend. No worries, thanks very much for that. Want to sell me it? No, I'm not gonna sell you it. Alright, here we go, guys. Let's get these engines stable. Engines are at high idle, bleeds and blowers are off. Auto feather, auto ignition is going on. Prop governor is off. The test anyways. 29 Palms traffic, KingAir November 30 Alpha Kilo rolling runway 28, departure to the south, 29 Palms. Here we go. Engines are stable.
Traffic, 4 Delta Charlie is lining up runway 28.
Engines are good. Takeoff power set, 2 in the green, and speed tape is alive and on both sides. That's checked. 80 knots checked.
V1, rotate, V2.
Pause rate, gears coming up. Props are coming back to 1550. And bring the torque back. You just re-sub, by the way, but it didn't go through, Flying Tommy? Well, thank you very much for the sub, Tommy. The resub, that's awesome. I don't know why the sub didn't go through, but appreciate that 100%. 29 Palms traffic, KingAir November 30 Alpha Kilo, making left traffic, runway 28, 29 Palms. All right, coming up on 5,000. It didn't pop up. Well, Flying Tommy, appreciate the subscription, and we definitely appreciate the support for the community and the channel. That's awesome. All right, auto feather, auto ignition are going off. We're going to trim this airplane out. Bleeds and blowers are back on.
Or did he resub a day early?
I don't know the answer to that. No dongle, and tomorrow's the last day. But they did tell me to email them, so I'll have to check the mail tomorrow, and if they have to, they'll send me a software key, they said. We should still be okay for Wednesday. And 29 Palms traffic, KingAir November 30 Alpha Kilo. We're direct Tango November Papa. And we're going to switch to 123.45. Through 7,000. That shouldn't be, Flying Tommy. That shouldn't make any difference whether you're on a phone or not. It should still go through. I don't know why it wouldn't go through.
So why did Replica say I was fired?
Because well, he thinks that I didn't get the METAR for the wins, but I did. You did do it.
Yeah, I did it way before anybody else was in chat.
At least I think that's what it was.
what flight level you going up to?
Yes, I was in your stream
210.
up until 11:15 last night.
That you were actually there, Disavow? I wasn't sure you were there. I thought you saw what I was doing, and then you said, "Screw this."
No, I was in the whole time, but you were on your other little chat thing, so I didn't bother coming into comms.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I was in there, but it was muted because we're not allowed to do the RP server and be in Discord at the same time.
No worries. Yeah, no, I was moderating until about 11:15. Then I said I had enough.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Not like there was anybody that had any trouble, but clearly not that many people that like to enjoy that. Cryptic Talk. Thank you very much for the subscription with Titch Prime. That seems to be working. Appreciate that, dude. Yeah, he might have clicked resub early, in which case we'll get the notification the next time that happens. Cryptic Tech, thank you very much for the sub and the support for the community, sir. We appreciate that. Yeah, some people clearly don't like the whole GTA thing, and you know what? That stuff happens. You can't please everybody. I mean, considering most of the people that follow this channel are mostly all flight simmers, sometimes they don't like to watch something new. Others like the difference, something a little different. I definitely had a few laughs last night. So many laughs, I think I was crying at one point. It was kind of funny. Appreciate the sub to tier 1. The tier 1 sub, absolutely incredible, and we appreciate each and everybody for their tier 1 subs. It's awesome. Flying Tommy and Cryptic Tack, appreciate that. All right, we're just coming up on 17,000 feet. We're going direct Tango November Papa. We bring those torque up a little bit. The torque can come up. Props were a little low. Bring those back to 1550. There we go. And bring the torque back. Standard 18,000 feet on the left and on the right. Coming up on 21. Thousand to go. Altitude is captured. I was enjoying the GTA, but it gives me motion sickness after a bit, which is why I don't play it very much. Interesting reading, Rich. That's crazy. But that's partly because of my jerkiness on the controls, too. I'm sure some people find it pretty bad, and others not so much. I know it was tricky with me on the big monitor. That was interesting. All right, let's get that heading bug sorted out. On our way to Chihuahua, Mexico, guys. Chihuahua, Mexico. We actually had a gold mine in Chihuahua, and it's now since been closed. We have another one in Sonora. I think it's Sonora, it's called. Appreciate follow, BA Mike Foxtrot. Appreciate that. Welcome to the channel and to the community. You have the same problem when you do what? Oh, yeah, playing the game. Yeah. coffee pot's coming on because Solo forgot to remind me. .263 knots, guys, indicated 345 over the ground. Progress page shows 600 miles to go. Oh, you're sorry, Solo? That's okay. Disavowed was probably going to ban you or something because you forgot.
Move that down to VIP.
You'll move them down to VIP?
Yeah, just move them down to VIP.
Yeah, that would work. Sometimes that happens. No coffee equals no stream, BA Mike Foxtrot. You're 100% right, sir. Solo would be one of the... There's actually a few of these guys that get pretty ticked off if the coffee pot gets fucked up. There's a couple of them for sure. All right, airplane's trimmed out. We're on the autopilot. Excuse me. Duh. Torque's still a little high. We'll bring that back a little bit.
What time did you finally finish up last night, your time?
Oh my god. I don't know. It was 1, I guess. Thanks for the following, Arachnava. Good to see ya. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was around 1 a.m. my time.
Yeah, well then you must have finished up shortly after I called it quits and went to bed.
Oh, maybe. After, I'm trying to think where it was at. Trying to think where we were. We went back down. Shit, I don't actually remember what we were even doing. That's how bad it is. I'm trying to remember what we were doing for sure. Yes, absolutely, BA Mike Foxtrot. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 for sure it is.
Yeah,
Oh, no, Neil, I did not see the Dragon 2 launch. What?
Yep.
When did that happen?
9:20 my time.
And what was in it? Were there more people in it, or?
No, the Dragon 2 is the updated Dragon module. It carries a lot more cargo to the space station.
Oh, okay, so they just took it up empty kind of a thing? Or was it with cargo in it?
Oh no, look at resupply.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm waiting for Starship, the 15-kilometer test. That's what I'm waiting for next.
He may go this week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're trying to go this week for the 15 kilometer. 12, I think it's 12 now.
Oh, they changed it to 12?
Yeah, they've been changing it, going back and forth.
Little bit of mountainage behind us, or underneath us, but no weather yet. No cloudage, no nothing. Just a little bit of a headwind, 15 knots, kind of out of, 1:30, 2 o'clock. Neil, I bet you it was great. I would have liked to see it, but I can watch it tomorrow. They usually live stream it, so I can just go and watch the VOD tomorrow.
Oh, it's already up. They put it up like an hour after.
Well, that's good. Shit, it's probably damn near docked now.
It's 26 hours from the time they launch to when they'll dock. So tomorrow, about 11 o'clock my time, about 11:20.
Wow, so you see, sometimes it depends on where they are in the position when they launch and the time of day. Depends on when they can actually do it. Because the Russians try and nail it to a specific aperture or apoapsis or whatever the fuck they call it, where they can actually hit it and go straight in. But sometimes it's best to do a couple of orbits, I guess, a couple hundred orbits until you do a few burns and get yourself right in the right speed and the right everything. Me too, Neil. That's probably one of the coolest things is that they land those upright. Like even the solid rocket boosters from the space shuttle would come down by parachute, but they'd still like hit the ground or hit the water, and then they have to be, refurbished, basically still torn down and rebuilt. I think it's pretty cool. They could just about, refuel it and send it up right away. That's why they're bringing the cost of the space travel down so much. definitely need that reusable rockets. I'm just worried that one of these days something is going to have a little bit of stress fractures or stress cracks on it, and they're not going to realize it, and bad things are going to happen. The drone ship, it's all right, I still love you, I think they call it. Thanks very much for hanging out with us, guys. November 38 Alpha Kilo, Cockpitbuilders.com. We're on our way to Chihuahua, Mexico. Microsoft Flight Simulator is the venue that is taking us there. We're in the KingAir. We're making our way as quickly as we can to get to our destination. Always love a good flight. Never actually flown 2020 into Mexico, but we're gonna try it. I don't know what the scenery is gonna do or how good the satellite imagery is going to be. Oh, is that what happens, Solo? They let them fly 10 times and then they rebuild them. Well, that's good. Guys, appreciate you hanging out with us. You know, if you want to watch the VODs and you're not happy with all the Twitch commercials, you can follow us over at YouTube, subscribe and hit the bell. You get notified when the new VODs go up. I do have last night's VOD to transfer over, and I believe Friday nights. Oh wait, I didn't do a stream Friday night. I gotta transfer some shit over to YouTube already, actually, so I'll do that probably over the next couple of days. Get some new shit put there. Excuse me. If you're interested and you want to join the Discord, you can also reach us.
Yeah, your latest upload was 2 days ago.
Yeah. You can reach us on the Discord at this address. And in there I post the flight plan for the day, so you always know which flight I'm doing, and if you're interested in getting involved, you can always fly as well. We're live on the POSCON network right now, and we do some flights on VATSIM. I change them up once in a while. Absolutely, Tespler. That could be arranged, buddy. 100%. That totally could be arranged. That shit was crazy, man. I don't know what happened. I took it, I drank it, and the next thing you know, I thought the game crashed. I thought I was underground. I didn't know where I was, and the next thing you know, I was standing on this beach in the middle of nowhere. That was some crazy, crazy shit, that was. Not tonight, Cameraman Pug. I gotta go to bed. I gotta work at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so as soon as I finish the stream, I pretty much go in and get ready for bed and go to bed. That's just the way it's gotta be. Yeah, exactly, Tespler. It had some, I don't know, man. That was some crazy, crazy shit, that was, but it was awesome. A big thanks to Bobby and Melvin for hanging out with us last night. That was a lot of fun. I work at a gold mine, Rakneva. Monday to Friday is my shift. I'm a supervisor at a gold mine. We got like 700 employees. It's a pretty big outfit. OLS is next, 237 miles to OLS. Yeah, Yukon Cornelius. Yeah, exactly. I work for Parker Schnabel. 546 miles to the airport, guys. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. I started flying in real life at a much younger age, but that didn't pan out. So then I started building flight simulators for fun. Reading Rich, I wouldn't be surprised if very early in the new year they let some more people in. That's what I expect is going to happen. I think you're going to find realistically Q2 or Q3 of 2021, you're going to see a lot more action going on. It's still being worked on every day. Like, there's all kinds of stuff going on with it. It's incredible to see what's going on in the background. There's always updates. It's really, really good. And now it doesn't pan out in flight simulators, Tesla? Oh, no, it always pans out. No, not at all, Cameraman Pug, because there's no way I would sell this with the house. Unless somebody came up with some stupid price. But even then, the problem is you wouldn't be able to, there's so many finicky things that would go, you really have to understand how it works, because there's orders to doing things and starting things up, and if you don't do things in a certain way, or if you do things in the wrong way, and then you have to see and recognize what's actually happening, and then you'll know, oh, I did this wrong, or I did this in the wrong order. So, but for the most part, if you just follow a checklist or a procedure, it'll just work. Otherwise, it would be a support nightmare. Invigorated One, thank you very much for the follow. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us. Guys, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to jam in the chat. We're always happy to answer your questions. Always, always, always. There is no such thing as a dumb question. We're always interested in answering your questions. It's funny, I was watching it the other night with my kids. I said out loud, "There's Trev," and they said, "Who's Trev?" I said, "A gold miner." That's awesome. Thanks very much, Invigorated. Appreciate it. It's a real Beechcraft Model 99. It's been converted into a KingAir 350i. Same cockpit dimensions, actually, as the Beech 99B. So a real airplane that really flew at one time, not so much anymore, but she's at least indoors and not getting ruined now. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. It's Sunday, folks. My workshop. Eric FX, not currently that will work with Microsoft Flight Simulator. So depending on what you want to do with that. Park and Break, how are you tonight, sir? Good to see you. We're just taking a quick, short break while we're cruising at 21,000 feet. We'll be back in the cockpit in just 2 seconds. We're on our way into Chihuahua, Mexico tonight. Chihuahua, Mexico. Neil J, my frame rate seems a bit slow on this camera. Maybe because I did up the resolution on this. This is the Brio. Is that what you're talking about, the frame rate? Because sure as hell ain't the frame rate on the front view. Yeah, I jacked up the resolution. I'll have to turn it down. I mean, it's not too bad. I do know that the voice isn't like maybe a couple of milliseconds off. The smoking room cam, yeah, this one. That's the Brio. I've upped it to, I think, the 4K native, which is kind of pointless because we're only streaming at 1080p, so I probably will lower it. Parking Break, it's actually not quite that far. It's not quite 220. It's probably right now about 100 degrees. But I'm going to add the third projector shortly. I'm just waiting for Immersive Display to send me my dongle. It hasn't shown up yet, but they are absolutely amazing. Those guys at Fly Elise are absolutely the shit. They're the best software, best everything. I love using their software. It's very reliable and it works really nice. Yeah, right now it's 2 projector, but I'll add the third soon. I just haven't got a date or a time yet when I'm going to do that, but I have the third one. It's sitting here. I just have to extend the screen back a little bit more to completely cover the side views. Right now it goes to the front corners like the 45s. I'm going to bring it right back to the 90s. No, the dongle and my temporary registration runs out tomorrow or after tomorrow. They did say to me when I emailed support, they said no worries, if it doesn't come tomorrow, they said that they'll give me a software key that'll get me through. It's not Fly Elise or Immersive Display Pro's issue. It's the mail. It's coming out of the Netherlands, and for some reason it's slower than, you know, what the popcorn takes to cook. It's just the mail. It's the way that the mail's going. There's nothing I can do about that. And they know that too. So we'll see what happens. This is the inside of the cockpit. This is the GoPro. The GoPro Hero 9 Black, guys. So parking brake, it's pretty easy. There's the cheap version, which is I shouldn't say cheap. The cost-effective version is the first one. Keep in mind that you do not get the Calibration Pro software with that. The second version is good for up to 16 screens, or maybe not 16 screens. It might be 3 or 4 screens, projectors. But it does not come with the Calibration Pro. And there is the Ultimate, which is the one that I've got coming. The Ultimate is good for up to 16 projectors, which you don't need, but 16 projectors. But it also comes with the Immersive Calibration Pro software. And the Calibration Pro software, basically you just set up 6 points on the screen and it will auto warp the screen for you, and it does a pretty damn good job. And then you just have to do little fine adjustments to get it all lined up after that. Yes, Tespler, we got the GoPro power issue sorted out. The problem was I had too long of an extension cord on the GoPro to the camera. So now I've moved the power block closer to the camera. It still slowly loses power, but it's not near gonna die anyway. Reading Rich, you sent some stuff to Ottawa in the summer and it took 9 weeks. That's ridiculous. USPS is pretty quick, but with COVID, that slows a lot of shit down because a lot of people, when something shows up from out of the area, they don't want to fucking touch it for 2 or 3 days, which probably ends up being a week. And then they process it, and then it goes to the next spot, and then they don't want to touch it for 2 or 3 days, which turns into a week. So it can be a pain in the ass. Good to see you guys. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. We're on our way to Chihuahua, Mexico. Are you going to calibrate the third projector on stream? I'm interested on how you get that set up. I'll tell you what, I could. I will not take the time and mount it on stream, because that takes a long time. But I will mount it, and then maybe I can stream it, and if not anybody's around to watch it, at least you guys could watch the VOD. But there are a couple of really good VODs on how to do it using the Immersive Calibration Pro software. Look at that fucking solar farm down there. Holy shit, that's big. Plus the round farmland crop circles. Royal Mail for you. I order stuff from Toronto and get it in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's probably a standard from the US to Canada, about 2 weeks probably would be the standard. Outside of that, though, it's been ridiculously slow. So, Cockpit Builders, you running 4K or 2K projectors? If so, one computer for each projector, or are you running both projectors on the same computer? So, Parking Brake with Microsoft Flight Simulator, you can't, it doesn't have support for multiple displays yet. So, you have to run them on the same computer. It's not like P3D where you actually could run them on each. So, I'm running both projectors on one same computer right now. And the third projector will also connect to that one same computer. Thanks for the follow, K the Joker 20. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. We're always happy to answer your questions, guys. Keep them coming. 482 miles to go. I got drone coming up just behind us there. Not too bad. This is badass. You just motivated me to build a simulator. That happens, man. I mean, here's the thing. If you don't have a lot of money to spend, a little bit of... Sorry, what was that? 5-4 Delta Charlie?
Yeah, I slowed down this bit.
All right, sounds good. So you can actually put a piece of wood in front of your computer monitor and achieve a lot more immersion, and it's easy. A couple of Arduinos and you're all set. In fact, if you go over to thegeekforge.com, he's got some samples there of how you can interface some switches and some LEDs with FSX. Well, it's the same procedure for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's actually really easy. You don't have to spend $50,000 to get a setup like this. You can start small. A little bit of paint and plywood goes a long way to giving you that immersion factor. So so K the Joker, they're not small monitors. That's what I'm telling you. So I've got 3 monitors behind this main instrument panel. It's just they're right up against the 1/4 inch wood. MDF, actually. So there's 3 monitors behind here. You just can't see the rest of the monitors. They're hidden. So you can pick up actually what I did for these monitors. Well, these ones I bought, but for my side monitors that I had, I just went to the local landfill site, went into their electronics recycling box where people get a big 24-inch monitor. They don't want their 16, 17s, 19-inch monitors. So I just grabbed a few of those out of the electronics recycling place, cleaned them all up, disinfected them, and boom, had some free monitors. Rope US, thank you very much for the follow, sir. Good to see you. Start small, exactly. That's right, Solo. 3K4. Oh yeah, sorry. These are not 4K. I'm running GT 1080 Darbies, so they're 1080p. So I'm 3840 right now by 1080. It's clear, it's beautiful. I have no issues with it. Would like to build one someday too, just need to save for a new house first. Yeah, Brodsky, that's probably a good idea. You want to make sure you own your house. If you do rent, you want to make sure that you build it in such a way that it can be taken down pretty easily. That's what I'm talking about. K the Joker 20. These instrument monitors are running on a separate computer, and there's actually 3 separate, I think it's a 17 in the middle and 2 19s on the side, or 2 17s and a 19. I know that's what you were talking about. It looks like it's just a little monitor, but they're not. They're not little monitors. Those are big full-size monitors behind there. So they're not tablets. The only tablet that's in here is this one. Yeah, exactly, Parking Brake. Even when I'm down low and slow, the 1080 is clear enough. It looks gorgeous. Yeah, so K the Joker, that's the problem, right? You have to choose whether or not you want a real button to touch or just a virtual one. That's kind of where the line comes down. Me, I prefer the real virtual reality. Why have virtual reality when I've got reality? Pietrangelo, the panel with the autopilot, heading set and such. What is the proper name for this panel? You're talking about this, otherwise known as the MCP or mode control panel? I would love to buy something like this for my honeycomb set if it's possible to do something like that. Okay, so hold on to your thoughts, because the honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant comes with a mini one of these on it. So if you like to fly GA, maybe some Barons or Cessnas or, you know, maybe a Cirrus or something like that, the autopilot that comes built onto the Bravo throttle quadrant will work perfect for you. This one I made myself. I totally built this one. I had a friend of mine who actually CNC'd the front panel for me, and then I built it myself. You can do a search. You can buy a lot of 737 ones as USB. Oh, Reading Rich, you saw that after the rebuild. After we tore the thing apart, Reading Rich? You saw us putting the monitors back in? Yeah, that was last December. Shit, you've been around for almost a year. How much feel do you get through the controls? Well, invigorated, these are the real yokes, and the real mechanisms for these yokes are still there. The problem is I don't have the wind going across the wings to keep them centered. So I have some piece of shit springy system going on that I'm not happy with, but I've got some new bungee cords that I'm going to put in over the Christmas holidays, which will improve the feel of them way better. Do I have a link showing the build? Absolutely, Neil. Solo put that in there for you. So, Pi Triangle, or Trangelo, that's exactly what it is. I fly the KingAir, and that's all I fly. And the Microsoft Flight Simulator, KingAir flies like shit. I've had to do a lot of work to get it to where it is now, and it's still, I'm not 100% happy with it. Owen La, thank you very much for the follow. Good to see you, bud. It's Showtime 007. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on board. It's Showtime 007. That's because I am in a real cockpit. This was a Beechcraft Model 99 that has been converted into a KingAir 350i. We're flying Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And it's all interfaced and up and working. That's the way it works. It is magic, absolutely. Greetings, Mosh. How's it going, man? Good to see you. It's tough to make those switches and knobs recognizable by Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like, do you need additional software to talk to the Arduino? So, Brodsky, what happens is I write a script or a program, very easy C-based program. They're very basic, that gets put into the Arduino. And then there's another script that you write that goes into my Flight Simulator FSU IPC folder. And what it does is when I start it, it basically passes information to the Arduino via USB serial connection, back and forth. So when I flick this switch, the software tells the Arduino this switch was flicked, and then in the Arduino, that switch being flicked turns on this light, maybe. It's actually really easy. If you go over to thegeekforge.com, Fester Geek, he's a very close friend of mine. He's an absolutely stellar guy. Made some examples that you can actually look at. And the work that he does is magic. He's absolutely an incredible individual. It's Showtime. This is 20 years in the making, man. I built 4 simulators. This is my 4th, and each one goes through at least 2 rebuilds, probably more so. This one will probably get 3 or 4 before I'm done with it. But yeah, so it's just the way it goes. Oh, the Icon, I don't even know who would fly that piece of shit. No problem, Mosh. That's what Disavowed does best. He makes sure that all the good streamers that come into the channel are recognized for their efforts. Guys, we're 426 miles to go. Ground speed is 371, so about an hour and 20 minutes or so, give or take. We should be making our way down. So, okay, so Accord 39, December 13th of last year, we completely gutted it. Ripped it all out. Reinstalled all the panels with 9,000 linear feet of single-strand copper wire. And had it back up and running to a flyable state within 2 weeks. There's just a little tweaking that I do now on the failure system and a little tweaking that I do on the flight dynamics. But as far as the systems go, most of them are in place. Oh, Dual, okay. You're north of Flagstaff, heading to Pueblo, sorry. I was just dyslexic there for a minute. Yep, definitely in Sim Toolkit. That's where I am. Been a bit lazy lately, Mosh says, and haven't streamed for about a month, I guess. Real life happens. Absolutely real life happens. Some of us stream a little too much for the real life thing, and we have to cut her back a notch. Yeah, 2 weeks to get it flyable again, and then just some little changes along the way. But keep in mind, everything was there. It was fitted. It was just, we wanted to build a new main instrument panel, so we did that. We did everything, most of it live on stream. Unfortunately, we lost those VODs but now we're uploading everything to YouTube. Everything goes to YouTube, so it'll never get lost again. It is that time of the year, exactly, Solo. Oscar Lima Sierra, we're 100 miles out of that. We've got Mr. Delta Charlie just a little bit behind us. He slowed her down. I don't know why this engine's redlining. We're only at 102%. Let's bring that torque back a little more. There we go. Should be able to do 104% or so without any issues here. If you over torque the engines, they get a little crusty with you. Exactly, Solo. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Fuel's good. Gauges are good. Everything's looking good. We're constantly scanning to make sure shit don't go wrong. Wow, there's really nothing around us. No airports. No nothing. This thing is completely dead. Nothing but pure mountain. Like desert. Yeah, there's clouds. What are you talking about? I see clouds. Do you guys not see clouds? Solo smoking clouds, I think. There's nothing ever in southern Arizona except a big wall and a river. Yeah, exactly, Duel. Isn't that the way it goes? No, Solo, that's not ground, man. That's lots of cloudage. Does that... I don't know. That looks like... Does that look like ground? I don't know, man. My fault, Solo says. Gonna have to get these things in for maintenance soon. They're not quite even. Cloud surfing at its best for sure. Apparently 21,000 feet is just exactly where we need to be to ride those clouds. We got a 13 knot tailwind here. It's not going too bad. How solo? Really? Oh yeah, really? Someone's watching it in 160p? Are you kidding me? Wow, that would suck. So much for the 4K camera then. $5 from Reading Rich. Thank you very, very much for the donation. And we got an autopilot trim failure indication on the upper glare shield. Autopilot trim failure has come up, which means my trim is not gonna work when we go to land. Awesome. That's gonna make things damn difficult when we go to land. That makes things really damn difficult because I'm usually with the yoke pulled right into my belly to make that work. So short story, I found a dude on TikTok today. He's a 350 pilot. This weekend he was picking up a brand new 350 from Wichita. Pretty cool stuff. Dual okay, that is pretty awesome. And absolutely amazing. I know that my brother, when he was flying the KingAir, he went and picked up a brand new one out of Wichita, and it was, still had that brand new out of the box, new car smell. It was awesome. Thanks, Zach Green. Good to see ya. I'm not a flight instructor, not at all, man. Just a guy who loves aviation and loves to share it with others. Nah, I'm not a pilot. Not a pilot at all. I started my pilot's license years ago, but bad things happen, so now I just fly the flight sims and I can drink my beer and do that happily and have a lot of fun with everybody. Nah, I appreciate that, Reading Rich. It's all good. It's all good. You didn't want to blow the plane up? That's fine. The trim failure I'll deal with. Right now it would be better than anything else, because right now there's no airports. So Zach Green, over the past 20 years, I'm into this for about $35,000 to $45,000. But that's over 20 years. So it's not bad, but this is my 4th simulator. And no, of course I don't mind you asking. Everybody asks. It's not too bad. Except with more debt, dual okay? Yeah, exactly. New car smell, but with more debt. That's exactly what it is. I'm impressed. Either my screens are frozen, which they're not, or Microsoft has fixed some of the bullshit with the last update. We're actually able to maintain our cruise altitude. I'm absolutely fucking shocked that that stupid bouncing around crap seems to be gone. So parking brake, my first simulator was an Airbus A320. My second simulator was a Dassault Falcon 900EX. My third simulator was a Boeing 737-800. And this is my 4th, the KingAir 350i. This is the first one, though, that I've used with a real airframe. About 480 euros, 480 euros for the ultimate license, and then I asked for the USB key. So I think they add about 28 euros for the USB dongle, but it's really, really slick. Zach Green, I'm running Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, the new one. Dual okay, I flew around the world in the A320 and the 350. The 350 was excellent. Wrapped that up about a week ago, started in October. That was fun. Yeah, it is amazing. That is really cool. You want to do around the world as well, Solo? Yeah, that's it exactly. Followed Amelia Earhart's route, eh? Cryptic Tack, $5. Thank you very much for the donation, sir. Appreciate the support for the channel. I don't see the failure up and handy, but that doesn't mean anything. It should appear on the bottom of the screen. You should see it update. It is possible to get duplicates, by the way. It is possible. No, I was talking 3 different airplanes, dude. No, it was not Flight Deck Solutions. My 737 was flying Gravity, and I stole it to a flight school in Stockholm, Sweden when I was done with it. Am I planning any of the old sim cockpits again? No, I'm quite happy with what I've got now. I used P3D before. I was a P3D fan. I've never been a fan of X-Plane. So you got a second trim failure? Sorry about that, man. You got robbed. Patrick Swayze, thank you very much, sir, for the follow. Good to see you. Auto feather failed? Yeah, that would suck. Yeah, it does happen. It's the only thing, because I only have so many failures in there, and right now it would be bad to get any of them. We'd pretty much pile her into the ground because there are no airports. There's absolutely nothing around us but desert. Anoff78, thank you very much, sir, for the follow. Good to see you. Guys, keep the questions coming. If you have questions, we're good with that. 356 miles to go. Our ground speed's 362. We're cruising at 21,000 feet, making our way to Chihuahua, Mexico. Chihuahua, Mexico, out of 29 Palms. Good to see you guys. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. What should I do if my game crashes when I get new, like a big airport? Well, that's a good question. First of all, you should look at the minimum requirements for the add-on airport. And I don't know if you're talking X-Plane B3D or Flight Sim 2020, but if it crashes, the first thing to do is to get the game stable again. So remove what you put in. Make sure it still works, and then try and put it in again. And if that still doesn't work, then contact the developer that made the software and said, why is this doing this? Whatever, bro. 132, thank you very much for the follow, sir. All right, scanning the instruments again. Everything looks good. She's definitely holding altitude way better than she did before this latest release from Flight Sim. It's actually behaving quite well. Ooh, that sounded like shit. We never let the animals out of their cages. We'll let them out now. Yeah, that would do it as well, Solo. Try lowering your settings. 85% N1 gives us 103 on the torque on one engine, 104 on the torque on the other. Everything's in the green and looking good. Oil pressure's good, fuel flow's good, and oil temperature's looking good. New task blur and turning off AI traffic. I've never had problems with that for sure. With P3D, I never ran with any of the cars, boats, or any of that other crap. Parking brake on the 737-800. Were you using Project Magenta or ProSim or Civ Avionics? I was using Project Magenta, which is why I still have Project Magenta running in here. Parking brake. Because, first of all, I could configure it for the KingAir 350i with the ProLine 21, so that way I had all the... I could put in all the performance information into the FMC and it'll calculate everything properly. That was one reason. And the other reason was when I sold the 737, I was not able to sell the software because they do not allow transfer of ownership, Project Magenta. So I kept it, and lo and behold, it worked great for me. Exactly, Solo. Not everybody can afford that. I mean, Disavowed's still trying to save up a few pennies so he can get the rest of his computer so he can fly with me. Isn't that right, Disavowed?
I'm just waiting for my big Social Security check.
Your big fat Social Security check. Everything's looking pretty good. I can't believe how stable this damn airplane is right now. They definitely made some adjustments, that's for sure. Absolutely, Zach. Like, when I turn one, the other one goes. When I move the rudder pedals, the other one goes. You can fly from either side, 100%. Project Magenta has actually come down in price, to be honest with you. I think it's like 700 or 800 euros for the full Boeing suite, which is pretty damn good, actually. Compared to what ProSim and Sim Avionics, which I wouldn't even buy Sim Avionics, but ProSim, but they're gone. ProSim's gone subscription based now, which makes it almost worse. Absolutely not. Whatever, bro. If you have Xbox Game Pass, you can fly, or you can purchase the game directly and not have to worry about Game Pass. Thanks, Zach Green. I appreciate your comments. That's awesome. Yeah, so reading Rich, that 2020 mountain turbulence used to be there, and for some reason now it's gone. There's a little bit of a buffet that I'm getting once in a while, but it's nowhere near what crap that it was. What's free, Zach? All right. Just hanging out, guys, at 21,000 feet. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's Sunday night. We're on our way to Chihuahua, Mexico. Never flown into Mexico on this Microsoft Flight Simulator before, so I really have no idea what we're going to get when it comes to scenery. Good to have you guys here. Always happy to answer your questions as best we can. Oh shit, I still forgot to fix that damn thing. I gotta bring the mouse and fix that. The social media banner for some reason is underneath the camera and I gotta drag it up. How big is my airframe? Let's say it's 12 feet long and 6 feet wide, something like that. Originally it was 47 feet wide and 45 feet long or something like that. You can look up the specs of the Beech 99. But I cut just back of first class, where the emergency exits are, is where I cut it at the back, and just in front of the firewall I cut it off. Yeah, exactly, Park and Break. I'm in Northern Ontario. Outside air temperature would be about -6 degrees Celsius, which would be what, 26 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. And I am in Northern Ontario, yes. No, I won't solo because we don't have snow. Touch wood, it's been amazing. We haven't had snow yet, which is bizarre for us, but I'm not going to complain. Oh, for sure. I've got 2 passenger seats behind the captain and the first officer. So there's my cockpit seat when I'm sitting down is about 1/3 of the way back. I will not smoke inside the cockpit. No way. It'd just make it all stinky and shitty in there. I've got really good ventilation back here, so I don't mind. But probably in the new year, it's time to give this shit up anyways. Well, Duel, you have to get lucky. I got lucky. No, not Google. You gotta pretty much know somebody in the industry. They don't just give away airplanes anymore. So I got lucky. I knew somebody in the industry who caught wind that there was a couple of these and they were ready to go to the scrapper, and I basically made arrangements with them and come up with a really good deal and suited everybody. And then the only condition was I had to take the entire airplane. Less smoke, more beer, Reading Rich. That's, I don't know about more beer, but I'm going to give up the smoking thing in the new year. I've had enough. I really hate it. It's a filthy, disgusting habit, and Fess and Zodius have made me feel like dog shit for smoking, so. But they're right. They just want me to live longer. Everything looks good so far. There's some... What was that? 5-4 Delta Charlie?
I said, woof, woof.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the rest of the airplane? It went to the scrapper. Yeah, Case Man, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very, very hard. And you know what? The end of the day, if I fail, I just got to keep trying. You never quit quitting. You just got to keep trying. That's the way it's going to work. Definitely, I've quit before. It wasn't easy, but then I ran into some awkward situations and I used it as a crutch. And the fact was, I enjoyed smoking. I'm not really enjoying it too much anymore. See, you took 2 times, but you quit. Yeah, actually, I think you told me that before, man. If it wasn't you, it was somebody else that told me the same thing. They chewed for 12 years, but then took a couple of times, but then they quit. So Zach Green, a friend of mine, has a motion platform. A small 3 degree of force motion platform is going to run you $50,000. The big problem that I have is you need the extra space. You need all the height. Because the building has to be much bigger to allow the unit to roll. But it's only got to be really... I figured if I could get 3 inches of movement on all sides, that would actually really make a difference. And the 3 inches of, if I was to do it, I have to use airbags. I ditched that one pretty far out. Credit to you. When I quit smoking, I stopped standing around friends when they were smoking, and stopped going inside a gas station. Oh, really? You stopped going in the gas station where you didn't buy the cigarettes? Yeah, it's pretty much, actually thinking about it, I think that's the only place we can buy cigarettes is in a convenience store or in a gas station. That's pretty much it. So if you don't go in, you can't get them. For me, I will switch probably to vape for a little bit. See if I can do that, but that'll help, but it's better than nothing. That'll be a lot healthier for me. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Vaping is worse, Zach. I disagree with that. It depends. If you're making the juice yourself or you know where it's coming from, it's not that harmful. Yeah, so Reading Rich, the motion platforms have their own problems. Actually, I bet you, Kim Medjury, I'll bet you our cigarettes are probably higher than yours. I'm almost $20 a pack for cigarettes. That's exactly Solo. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm paying $20. $20 for this. Yep, 20 bucks. 20 bucks for one little 25 pack of cigarettes. 20 bucks. So you go through one of those a day? That's fucking expensive. Yeah, so Cryptech, you're 18 in Alberta. Ontario is, well, it's probably 18 plus tax. That's exactly, it's right in line. Same idea. Exactly. That's what I'm telling you guys. It ain't fucking cheap here. And what they're doing, a 50 milliliter bottle of juice, $5, maybe. So I got 13% tax, Cryptic, plus the cigarette tax on top of that. Yeah, I think the pack of smokes itself is about $4. The rest of that $18 to $20 is tax. Yeah, cigarettes are fucking expensive. All right, let's get back in the cockpit, guys. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. It's Sunday night, making our way to Chihuahua, Mexico. Never been to Mexico before in flight sim at all, actually. Not that I can think of, anyway. Not that I can think of. 268 miles to go, and we're getting in and making a decent time. That's why they call it a sim tax. $45.70 a day. It cost me 2 packs of Export A Light. It was a second truck payment when you do math. Exactly. Oh shit, dude. Exactly. Because my wife, she smokes occasionally as well. And the two of us together were probably pack and a half a day probably. And it gets fucking expensive. So I've really had enough of it. And I don't feel healthy anymore. Like I actually wake up and I feel like garbage. So it's time. Actually, roundabout, it probably is. That's what Fest keeps going on about. He started saying, you do the math at a pack and a half a day. He said that's like $800 or $900 a fucking month. It's it's a fucking house payment almost. A carton for you is $45. Oh my god. Fuck, I'm $120 a carton at least. And that's on the cheap. Or a car payment. Exactly, Zach Green. It is what it is. Shit, I didn't grab my other drink. Hang on, let me grab my other drink. Yeah, so that's apparently on the reserve, you can get them cheaper. If I get caught off of a reserve with cigarettes, I think it's a $280 fine per cigarette that you have in your possession. It's pretty bad. 7 different tribes all around the town I live in. 4 casinos, take your pick. Exactly. 50. I can't believe it cost me 50 for a 30 deck ripped off here. Eesh. I'm in northern Ontario, Zach Green. Live about 5.5 hours or so north of Toronto. I've tried putters. Putters is an Ontario thing, I think, or a Canadian thing. They got it's not Du Maurier, they call it putters is like the players kind of a thing, and then there's DKs, I think they call them, or the other ones. Yes, but it's not the Indians that would find me roundabout, or the natives, I should say. It's there's a Ontario government people that if they catch you with them, the native cigarettes, you're in big shit. Yeah, if you're smoking, yeah, because if those cigarettes leave the reserve, then the tax hasn't been paid for them to be off the reserve, and therefore they'll fine you. Oh shit, MB 944. I lived in Toronto, not far from Yorkdale, for about 12, 15 years before I moved up here. What a load of socialist horseshit, exactly. Blue's like tasting glass cleaner. Next. Yeah, the next, I don't smoke next, guaranteed. I'm actually north of North Bay. I'm about an hour and a half north of North Bay. Yeah, but it's dual. It's because what they want to do is ensure that the taxes have been paid. And the indigenous people don't have to pay the taxes that the rest of us have to pay, right? So it's in order to protect the revenue stream for the government. My friend drives out to the Seminole once a month to get them. And I don't even smoke. Yeah, exactly, roundabout. You're not moving to Canada, that's fine. Lots of mountains in front of us, boys and girls. The engines are running good. 103% torque on the left, 104 torque on the right. Purring like a kitten. There's none of that more mountainous buffet going on, which is pretty cool. No, I wouldn't MB 944. I wouldn't say big land. I live right in a town, so my neighbors aren't that far from me. But there's a lot more land up here that if you want to go snowmobiling or whatever, it's super easy. I keep my camper at a campground not far from where I live, closer to work. And I can actually go there and relax and enjoy it, go boating whenever I want. It's pretty cool. Zethros TV, 100%. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Absolutely. Oh, okay, Dual, sorry. You'd never get in trouble for leaving the reserve? Wow, that's awesome. Oh, parking brake, it's always like this. There's always something to talk about. We're either all learning something, or we're laughing at each other, or something's always going on. That's what we like to do on Sundays is chill stream. Saturdays and Wednesdays can be a little over the top, but we like to have a lot of fun. Just shoot the shit, cruise, land, have some fun. Yeah, it's cheaper. I think I was looking at $35 for 500 milliliters of vape juice. I think that's kind of 29 or 30 bucks maybe for 500 milliliters, which is basically half a liter, right? So almost a gallon. Or what do you guys in the US call it? Half gallon or something stupid like that. Yeah, well, roundabout here, it's just because of the taxes. They want to make sure that everybody collects their taxes. Is this simulation? Yes, it is actually simulation, virtual vision. You wouldn't think it is. You wouldn't think it is, but it's a real airplane. That's the difference. This is not store-bought plastic fantastic. This thing flew. It's a real airplane. It used to fly at one time. Not so much anymore, my friend. It's because it is real. Yeah, so I'm reading the chat from my cell phone. I made a holder to hold it. But this is an iPad mini that I'm using for my charts and for changing the scenes. Buy the stuff and make it yourself. Exactly. Yeah, my cell phone my cell phone, I just use that for reading chat. It saves me from having another application up. I just use my cell phone, and because I'm on call all the time for work, if my phone rings, it's right here and I can get at it if I need to. This is gonna suck, guys, because of the wonderful donations in the stream. We do have a trim failure, so we will not be able to use trim for landing, which makes landing this fucking thing a beast, because I've basically got to have the yoke in my lap to do it. And because it's hard to pull, it is a little bit hard and tiring, but we'll do the best we can. Oh, it's super easy to do, Duel. Believe it or not, it is super easy to do. All you have in a joystick is when you go left and right, it moves a potentiometer left and right. When you go frontwards and backwards, it moves a potentiometer frontwards and backwards. So really all you do is take that resistance value and you connect it on slide pots so that you get a little lever that moves this way or moves this way. And then when you tie it to an interface card or a joystick card, it's recognized as if it's a joystick. It's really easy to do. Believe it or not, it's super easy. Yep, 100%. There's just one, because the rudders are already linked under the floor because it's a real airplane. I just put a slide potentiometer in the floor, and there's a bar that goes across that joins both sets of pedals. So that bar goes left and right, and I just attach a slide potentiometer to it. So when they're all the way one direction, it's one resistance. And when they're all the way the other direction, it's the other resistance, 0 and 100K. And then 50K is in the middle. And you just 3 wires back to the interface, and you're good to go. Oh, really? So what they didn't tell you, Duel, is as long as you get the same value, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can even use a 10K pot where a 100K pot is. All it does is checks resistance between one side to the other or through the whole series. If you spend little money and buy cheap-ass ones, they get dirty and jittery and shit. You don't want the jitters. It's like tweaking out. So you try to buy good ones. Obviously, the most expensive ones to buy are what are called string pots, and they're basically a string that pulls out of them, and if you were to let it go, it's spring-loaded and it rolls it back up. And those things are, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of $250 US a piece, minimum. Upwards of $1,000 a piece, but they're consistent. And they always keep their same value for their same position. They're amazing units. Yeah, exactly, Duel. So that would have been either Mauser or DigiKey or Electrosonic or something like that, probably. Yeah, Hall effect sensors. Hall effect sensors are the cat's ass. So you can use those with Arduinos as well. Hall effect sensor is more for little movements and big adjustments on little movements. So it's basically, it detects it's like a magnetic movement, so that as the magnetic field gets stronger or weaker as the Hall effect sensor gets closer or further away. Those things are very accurate and very repeatable, but it's not like you can get a 4-inch gap on those. I think the pots that I'm using in here are about almost 5 inches long, like they're really, really big. So encoders are what I'm using on like my heading knob or on my altitude, speed, my courses, my trim wheel. Those are all encoders, so you can just spin them and spin them and spin them and spin them. So you basically, the way an encoder works is you've got a power and a ground and then 2 pins that determine which direction it's going. Encoders are really awesome to use, but you have to treat an encoder as pushing a button on a keyboard multiple times every time it clicks. So parking brake, you can do that, but there's actually a pretty affordable place where you can buy it pre-made with a screen and everything. Is go over to realsimgear.com. If you go to realsimgear.com, tell the gentleman that I sent you there. He might even give you a deal. And he's got some pretty nice shit, and they're not that expensive. If you come to Cockpitbuilders.com, there's actually a guy that actually drew it up and he 3D printed it himself. Zach Green, thank you very much for the follow, sir. Welcome to the community. We're 184 miles, guys. About 100 miles will start our descent going into Chihuahua. This is some mountainous fucking shit. This is. I couldn't even believe this when I'm looking at this scenery. This is ridiculous. There's just mountains everywhere. I'm actually a little bit nervous about going into this airport in Chihuahua. It's like mountain central. It's like the Rockies or something. Yeah, so Arrow, that's a great idea, actually. A CNC machine is actually a fantastic addition if you want to build your own sim parts. A CNC machine is absolutely almost a necessity. I would say a CNC and a 3D printer would actually make your own panel making stuff a reality. You almost bought the GTN 530 this Black Friday when it was $329 on sale. Yeah, so for $329, you get something that is basically looks gorgeous and is super awesome. Oh shit, we lost the bleed airs. Cryptic Tack, thank you very much for the $5. We lost the bleeds, so the bleeds are going off, which means no anti-ice for us. No anti-ice for us. The bleeds and the blowers are off. Actually, no, I'm lying to you. The blowers can stay on, but we lost the bleed air valves. So no anti-ice for us. Feasible, you can make it out of wood. It's just for looks and a sim. Exactly, but dude, you can get something that looks that awesome. And I actually, 54 Delta Charlie, he's running this 750. I think he won the 540 or something here on stream. We had Real Sim Gear as a guest. He was amazing. Love the guy. And I think Drone paid a little extra money and upgraded it to the 750, and he loves it. A laser, a Caspa Jack, I don't know, man. You made this MCP for me, and I love it.
Yeah, I won the 530 and I upgraded to the 750.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. Caspa Jack, guys, in the chat is the gentleman that laser cut the MCP for me with his CNC machine. He did a wonderful job on it. I'm sure Caspa, the only thing that would have been better is if it was about 6 millimeters thickness. If it was a little thicker, it would have been a little better, but that's I mean, that's something you just tinker with and get the thicknesses right, or stack multiple panels. Oh, Solo, I think everybody loved that stream. He was so easygoing. It was incredible. Great guy to interview. It was a lot of fun. Actually, dual okay, there's nothing. You won't see a single wire. Everything just goes direct to the back. Normally, it's normally where my smoking room camera is usually on the other side, and you can see the Arduinos. The next time I go back, I'll show you that. and it's okay. Most of it I'm pretty proud of, but I've had to make some adjustments recently, and I have to tidy it up again. It is a little messy. Oh, you've seen them in previous streams? Yeah, so there's not much up under the dash. All the cables run down my left, about the middle of my left elbow. They run on the left side of the cockpit all the way down, and they all enter right here on the front left corner of the main instrument panel. And they start on that side, and they slowly start dropping off back to here. There's really, the main instrument panel, there's really nothing behind there, but you want to geek it out, man. There's lots to see for sure. I used to laser cut VIN plates at work. It's one of the first places they bring visitors. Oh, that's pretty cool, Reading Rich. I totally geek out on all of it, Duel. Oh, that's hilarious. That's okay, man. That's why we do this. We do this because we all have geek it out over, we'll all geek it out over the flight simulation and all the electronics and everything. It's pretty cool. Vixer is next, guys. It's also the first waypoint for the approach. We're 74 miles out of Vixer. Engines creeped up on us there. We're going to pull them back a little before we over-torque them. We've got a 10-knot crosswind from about our 9 o'clock, 8:30 probably. Bring the torque back down. And Disavowed sent us the meter.
No, that was Stolo.
Oh, was it? Oh, he took your job away.
I was on the phone. I was on my phone with my sister.
Oh, it's all good. Is everything okay there?
Oh, yeah, we're just planning for our trip next week.
Oh, yes. So we've got winds 0030 at 4 knots. 030 at 4 knots, 10 miles visibility. Sky is clear. Temperature's 13. Dew point -7. 3028 is the altimeter. Not a much. It's not a lot of electricity. I mean, it's the computer and the projectors are probably using the most, plus the monitors. So you got 3, 4, 5, 6, well, 5 monitors, 2 projectors, and 3 computers running constantly while you're in it. So it generates quite a bit of heat, but it also cuts down on my heating cost out here, right? I'm working here, he says. I basically would say I'm less than 4 15 amp circuits. Give or take. The big ass air conditioner though, heating unit, that uses a little more power, but oh, I see, parking brake. That's a really good question. Some of it was dumb luck. When I roofed the sim room, it was, I used 1/2-inch OSB, and it has those lines on it. Anyways, I took a 4x8 sheet of MDF, and I literally put a screw at the middle of it and a marker on a string because I knew I wanted the depth to be 4 feet. And I knew 8 feet was wide enough for it to go around my airplane. So I literally took a 4-foot piece of string and drew an arc to the right and drew an arc to the left, and then I cut it out. And then once I had that, that was my bottom, and then my top, we put in a bunch of 2x4s just to make the supports, and then used I think it's 3 millimeter MDF or 3 millimeter Luan or something that curves it. But basically went to the middle and put the first 4x8 sheet on, And then a little stubby on this side and a stubby on this side. 5-4 Delta Charlie, go ahead, 8 Alpha Kilo.
Yeah, which runway are you going to be going in on?
Standby 1. Looks like I'll be going in on probably 3-6 right.
Roger that, thanks.
Actually, I'll change that up. I'll do 3-6 left. It's narrower, but it's close to the terminal.
Alrighty.
3-6 left, and I'm hoping to get off at Delta.
Okay.
There, we'll change that up a little bit. Oh. Try that. Get back here. Yeah, exactly. So Solo is very, very right there. I mean, we've always, the place where I've been really lucky is I've always had the most amazing moderators. So Disavowed, Guyver, Scotty, and Solo have all been the backbone of the community for sure. Fest, Zodius have also been amazing, and Zodius has actually helped me.
Your technical support.
Yeah, Zodius has really helped me on the back end with the audio and the video stuff, which I would have been in rough shape had it not been for him taking that extra time. So believe it or not, the crew is 6 or 8 guys to put on a production like this, and I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for them. But the nice part is, because I've got such great mods and the people in the community that come into this channel to watch are such great people, we don't really get a lot of issues anyways, but they're always here, and most of them are faster than I am, so. We do love our peeps here, you're 100% right. Exactly, Reading Rich. There's very little bullshit that goes on, and you know what? When the bullshit happens, we take care of it usually faster than it can get out. So it's always great. It's just a great community. It's a great bunch of people, and we like it that way. There, things are looking really good there now. Good evening, Wolf to Fear. How's it going, buddy? I'm doing good, thanks. And yourself, man? We're flying into Chihuahua, Mexico. Haven't done the Mexican flight yet, so we're gonna check this shit out. You bet, Duel. Thanks very much for hanging out, dude. I really am glad that you stopped by again. Hopefully we'll get to see you again soon. Appreciate it. Guys, we stream again on Wednesday night at 23:30 hours Zulu. We'll be back here Wednesday night, right here. Good, I'm glad you're doing well, Wolf. Glad you're doing well, buddy. All right, Vixer is next. Excuse me. Vixer is next, about 30 miles out of Vixer, and then we're gonna make a turn and start doing things here. But we are going to be starting our descent very, very shortly. Right around Vixer, we'll start the descent and make our way in. There was something I was supposed to... Oh, yeah, but he'd already seen them. I remember now. We'll take one more quick little break here. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. November 38 Alpha Kilo, Cockpitbuilders.com. Good to see us. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Sunday evening. Love it. Chill stream. Everybody's hanging out. Everybody's having a good time. That's what it's all about. great bunch of people always. You know what? If it was like bullshit all the time, I would get so sick of streaming. But because of the viewership, you guys make it easy. No doubt about it, you guys make it easy. The best is when we're all on other streams and we see each other. Actually, it's funny, Solo, that you say that, because you're 100% right. There's a bunch of people that you can actually check out. And when you go to those streams, there's a bunch of us that are usually hanging out in those streams. It's a great community and great people. And like I said, guys, if you ever consider streaming and you ever decide that you want to do this, the most important thing is to get yourself or try to meet some new people and give them a chance to moderate for you, because I've met some amazing people through this, and if it wasn't for these mods and my friends, I'd be fucked. Oh yeah, Dane Flats. Dane Flats tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, everybody. Don't forget to catch him. Bush Axer, how's it going, buddy? Chill stream, we're going into Chihuahua, Mexico. I'm not sure, Bush, if you've ever flown into Mexico, but check out this view. Like, there's a shit ton of like mountains, but that's all it is just mountains. It's unbelievable. Dane Flats can be my moderator anytime, roundabout. Oh, you're funny, dude. That's hilarious. And the ASMR of those engines, right, Solo? This should be called an ASMR or ASMR stream. It should be. Only walked into it. Yeah, Bush, you walked into Mexico before? Huh, I haven't even done that before. I've only ever flown in there. I've never walked there. I was saying that we used to have
descent in 50 miles.
We used to have a gold mine in Chihuahua, Mexico. And now we've got one in Hermosillo in Sonora State. And I'd be interested to see if it would be there, but I don't know where any of them were. But should be pretty easy to see the heap leach piles. It would look like a big construction site. That's the way they do. That's the way they do it in Mexico. Like, we drill underground, blast, and then crush up the rock and bring it to surface, and then we grind it in the mill. Where there, the way they blast it and mill it, they don't have a big processing facility like we have. They just put it in big piles and then dump cyanide all over them, and it leaches through it, and the gold comes out on the bottom in runoff drains that are underneath the piles. So they recollect the cyanide, and then what they do is extract the gold from it, and then they pour the cyanide back onto the heap leach. It's pretty slick. Where with us, we take the gold concentrate and put it in tanks after it with chemicals, cyanide, and all that other stuff, and it impregnates carbon with the gold. And then we extract the gold out of the carbon further on in the process. But yeah, lots of cyanide we use, lots of cyanide and a lot of really bad chemicals. A lot of people in the day, they used to use mercury, which apparently is not allowed. And for somebody to think, well, mercury's got to be just as bad as cyanide, but that's not true. Cyanide, if handled properly, is very, very safe product. Sodium cyanide. If it's handled properly, it's not deadly. And my responsibility is to ensure that it's kept at the right acidity level. You took 3 weeks and drove to San Diego from North Carolina to see the southern U.S. Yeah, he said he'd seen it already in previous streams, but I'll try. There you go, folks. There's the Arduinos. That's what controls the sim right there. They are. What does the acid do for the process? Drone, it actually, the cyanide absorbs. It's chemical reaction. So we put cyanide in the tanks. The cyanide, well, there's other chemicals before that absorb the gold. We float the gold into like bubbles in float cells. And then that material then gets shipped to a thickener, and out of the thickener it goes up to what we call a leaching area, where it basically is tanks full of carbon, and the gold solution, the cyanide makes the gold solution bind to the carbon. Bonne nuit, Matthew Hughes FS, how's it going, Gert? What's going on, man? Matthews FS. Havoc Styles, I just walked into this flying a modded longitude from LAS. I know Mercury stream audio being streamed. Oh, I know Mercury stream audio being streamed. That's awesome. Thanks for the follow, Havoc Styles. Appreciate it. All right, guys, we're going to head up back into the cockpit. We're getting real close to top of descent now. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. Sunday, November 30 at Alpha Kilo, Cockpitbuilders.com. Making our way to Chihuahua, Mexico. Nice little flight. Comfortable, good friends, good people, and a lot of laughs. That's what it's about. And if we can learn something along the way, perfect. You guys all just learned a little bit about processing gold. Yeah, exactly. That's the way she works. That's the way she works. That's right. Roundabout. That's exactly it. I thought, oh, really? I thought it was making our way the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Yeah, don't ever do that again. I apparently can't sing. I never, ever fucking claimed to sing. All right, guys, top of descent we're at. It's time to go down. Let's bring this bitch down. Here we go. I need an altitude here. Cheers. I knew exactly what you were doing, Roundabout. All right, airport elevation is 4,406 feet. 4,406 feet. So go down to about 8, I guess. Yeah, 7,500 will probably do. Thanks for the updated Mitar Solo. 3028 when we get through. What was this one? 3028, she hasn't changed. That's good. Runway 36 left is the runway in Chihuahua that we're going into. I'm in a separate building, Eric, I'm in a separate building. You need the exclamation mark, Havoc Styles. Put the exclamation mark in and do it with lowercase. All right, let's see where we're at here. You use Weather Force? I got rid of that piece of shit so fast. because it was junk, I'm now using Unreal Weather, which is fucking free, which kind of pisses me off. It's free, and it works way better than WeatherForce. I gave up on WeatherForce. I gave up on it. It was so bad. Now, the winds aloft aren't quite as good as Microsoft's weather, but the altimeter settings and the generic weather is way more accurate, and you access it from within Sim. Do a Google search for Unreal Weather. You do have to get yourself a free API from where it pulls the API data from, but that's, if you follow their instructions, it's real easy to do. It's a great piece of kit. I certainly do, Bush. Well, I'm actually out of beer now. I'm on Sprite. I've got 2 more beers sitting outside, but I've got some stuff I have to do as soon as I'm done the stream. That's why I was saying that I gotta cut her off a little bit when we get in there, and I've got some chores that need to be done before I can go to bed. Oh, Havoc, you're an IT guy? I wasn't an IT guy. I did gold coatings on laser lenses. We used cyanide to dissolve the gold. It was needed to keep the gold in a solution in the water. Exactly, Mr. Scooter. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Cyanide is some really cool chemical. So in our situation, the cyanide basically is the mechanism that allows the carbon to be absorbed with the gold. And then through other processes, we extract the gold then out of the carbon. The carbon acts as a carrier or a host for the gold. No, not Fresca. I don't know if Fresca's a US thing, but it basically looks like Fresca, I think. It's just called Sprite. It's the same thing as, the fuck do you guys call that? Yeah, I guess it's Fresca, same thing. I don't know if you guys have 7-Up, right? You guys have 7-Up. 7-Up and Sprite are basically the same thing. It's like Coke and Pepsi. 7-Up and Sprite. Fresca. You guys, yeah, I just don't know what it is. Agatha ALX, thanks very much for reminding him. Yeah, we're an English channel. I think he was saying he likes the cockpit, but I'm not 100% sure. Your English is very low. That's okay, Maths. That's fine, buddy. Just do your best. You try, we'll try. Oh, there's also Fresca. Is Fresca a similar flavor to 7-Up? Or Sprite? I don't know. Yeah, so I'm not... Okay, so Mr. Scooter, I'm not the guy that does the metallurgy, though. I'm just the idiot that makes sure all of it, the instrumentation equipment, the fiber optic network, the fire systems, the automation of everything is my responsibility. All that shit to make it... This actually, scenery looks pretty freaking good, man. Holy crap. I'm just the guy that keeps the process itself running. I don't understand the know-how behind it. You've never had it? You've seen it on the shelves? Yeah, Night Shadow. I think I've seen Fresca on shelves before, too. You know what, Havoc Styles? I don't know, but it makes it so much more realistic. We're crazy people. We're all crazy people. That's what it is. All right, 3028. I'm a little late on that. Sailor Jerry? Colton, I don't know what Sailor Jerry is, but I like the sound of it. Sounds alcoholic in nature. 3028 on that side. We'll do 3028 on this side.
It's spiced rum.
Spiced rum? Oh, I'm not a big fan. Yeah, Mick Lowe's, I am totally Canadian. 100%. And I'm sorry. Well, Solo, I think it's because like this is tagged as an English stream, so it's people could be calling us names in another language. They could be calling us names and we wouldn't know it. You know what I mean? So in order to moderate properly, you want to try and keep it English. Agatha was totally right. There's nothing wrong with reminding people that. And I just appreciate that Maths is trying. Cockpit, beautiful. You're very welcome, sir. I'm glad you enjoy it. It is a very nice cockpit. It's a real cockpit. It's a real airplane that's been converted into a KingAir 350. Yeah, I always do the sorry thing, man. I'm Canadian. I can't help it. But Maths, that's exactly what I like, man. Just do your best and we'll figure it out together what you're saying. We're all friends here. All right, guys, 5 miles out. Autopilot's coming off. I think. Oh, yeah, she's off. Ooh. 10,000. Landing lights are going on. Auto feather, auto ignition is going on. We'll put those seatbelt signs back on. The scenery actually looks pretty good, guys. I'm a little bit impressed. I'm from Brazil. Oh, wow, that's awesome. We're going into Mexico, though. Maybe Brazil one day. I'm sorry for Canada. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be sorry for Canada right now, but... All right, down we go. 4,500, I think I said, was the airport. Actually, I'm very impressed with the scenery here. Totally impressed. Sorry, guys, I can't see the chat right now. Everybody will let me know, though, if something important comes up. Make sure you guys get your predictions in. There, we probably can lower that descent a little. Keep in mind, guys, I do not have trim. No trim, so anything that I have to do here, I can't use the trim wheel. If I use it, nothing happens anyways. The trim, she gone. There's only 6 entries, guys. I'm disappointed. This is actually POSCON right now, Arix. Sometimes we do VATSIM, but we always beta testing on the POSCON network, which is a brand new network that's under development. We're always testing. And I'm going to switch over to 122.950 there, drone. Sorry.
Roger.
Should have done that sooner. Chihuahua traffic, KingAir November 30 Alpha Kilo. We're on about a 5-mile final, runway 36 left, full stop, Chihuahua. And let's get this speed down. Ooh, that's not going good here. Oh, boys, oh, boys, oh, boys. Gears coming down. Aircraft pitching like crazy because we don't have the trim out. Those engines can come right back.
You landing 3.6 or 1.8?
Shit, 1.8, sorry, 1.8 left.
That's what I thought. I'm coming in on 3.6.
Oh, crap. Okay, are you taking 3.6 left or right, drone?
Right.
You take 3.6 right, I'll take 1.8 right. That way we won't be on the same runway.
Okay.
Shit, I wasn't even paying attention to that. Clearly I screwed that up.
Yeah, I was wondering why you were getting further away from me.
Yeah, because I'm just not paying attention, I guess.
No problem.
All right, here we go, 115 knots. Ooh, boy, there's the trim issue right now.
500.
I don't know why I decided to take the little skinny one.
400.
Because you're a great pilot.
Yeah, sure I am. All right, gears down, 3 green, flaps are down. Landing checklist is complete. Landing. Oh my god, this yoke is hard to hold.
100.
Ooh, our speed's low too. That's not good. We're a little
50,
high.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh. Maths, thank you very much for the donation, sir. We got the master caution comes up. Appreciate that. Appreciate the donation, Maths. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Thanks, man.
A little heavy.
Yeah, it was a little heavy. I was a little higher up than I thought I was when the gear touched.
Yeah, minus 169. Commando solo. Got it.
That was a good thing that my stupid reversers are working. Nothing else seemed to be working right. Captain Henry won. Disavowed will remind everybody. Oh, it was Solo that won? What was the landing rate, Disavowed?
Well, I said you had a minus 169. Solo had a minus...
That was hard.
158.
Chihuahua traffic, King Air November 30 Alpha Clear Kilo. We're clear runway 18 right, Chihuahua. We'll watch drone come in here. There's a pretty good view of them. Longitude, the reversers don't work. My reversers work, but sometimes they're better than others. Let's just put it that way. Today it was good. They were working really, really good. You don't like it when the auto feather doesn't work.
Is on final for 368.
The auto feather failure is actually one of those things that really affects things really badly. Because it fucks with your governor and all kinds of other crap. No plane explosion, it's a win all around. Isn't that right? Thanks, Maths. Appreciate the donation. Absolutely incredible. You guys are all awesome. The guys that support the channel really, really appreciate the support. All donations go right back into the simulator. 100%. Actually turned out in the end I did land on the right one-way. The windsock is really spinning around in circles. There's really no measurable wind anyway.
Yeah, you said you were going to land on the narrow one because it was closer to where you were going.
Yeah, exactly. But it worked out okay for me. Havoc Styles, always hand fly if you can, 100%. I actually hand fly the departure right up to cruise, and I put the autopilot on for cruise. Depending on what kind of a conversation we're having, I'll do a little bit of the descent with the autopilot like I did. But also when I'm in a new area, I really like to take in the scenery, and I'm like super impressed with the way that this looks. This looks absolutely incredible.
I'd like to get something queued up here.
Absolutely.
Got 3 here. Got Sim Caesar, Chili, or Continuum.
I don't recall Continuum. Can you why am I pushing the mute button? I'm an idiot. Disavowed, sorry, I was talking to drone instead of you. I can't remember Continuum. Jog my memory.
Australian.
Okay. How long has Caesar been going for?
3 hours, 50 minutes. Got a group flight going on.
All right. We did Chile last time. Let's do Continuum for something different. Does that sound like fun?
Yeah, sounds good. He's got 26 people. He's been in the air for 35 minutes doing some bush flying over Africa.
Nicely done, drone. That was beautiful. That was absolutely gorgeous. Wow, that was awesome. Absolutely awesome. All right, let's keep going. We'll clear these failures. Sweet. Chihuahua traffic, KingAir November 38 Alpha Kilo. We're going to taxi to the gate via Alpha. And that's what we're going to do, KingAir 8 Alpha Kilo. Actually, it's just Alpha all the way in because that's where we're going. Roundabout, really appreciate you doing that. Thank you, man. It's important for everybody to understand they're welcome here, whether they can really speak English or not, but we appreciate that they try. Drone, the GA is way to the left. It's not over in the main terminal. And, dude, there's a lot of airplanes in here. It's awesome. All right, landing lights, strobe lights, flaps are coming up. The auto feather is now working. It can go off. Auto ignition is off. The blowers can go off. We can throw a generator off. Recognition lights can go off. The logo light can go off. The pitot heat and the windshield heat can all go off. I don't know why they put these taxiway lights in the middle of everything. Scotty Tuhati gifting a tier 1 sub to Maths. Wow, that's awesome, Scotty. Thanks very much for doing that. That makes people feel welcome for sure. Scotty Tuhati gifting the tier 1 sub to Maths. Thanks, Scotty. That's how many? 89 now you've gifted in the channel, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Coffee pot when able. You got it. Coffee pot is off. Prop sync is off. TCAS is off. As soon as you get off the... oh, you landed that way. Way at the north end... Sorry, the south end of the field. I'm not sure if you can see on the chart. Right by the end of runway 04.
All right, I'm heading that way.
That's fine. I'll wait for you. And we're just... If you come towards 04 and then you see that separate little parking lot, that's where I'm at. All right. Avionics are going off. Prop sync is off. TCAS is off. Autopilot, that's all off. This is off. Generators, that's good. And engines. Feather, seatbelt signs. Yeah, so I've had to modify this KingAir because it flies like a piece of shit.
Okay, I think, oh yeah, I see it way over there.
And I've got it way better. I've got it way better than it was, but it's still not perfect. I can hear you coming. I don't know how long.
I gotta go around this. I can't go where I was gonna go. I have to make a little left turn here and then a right.
That's fine. You can always make a left and a right. Yeah, seatbelt sign is off, Havoc. There, it's back on. Or it's off. I even have a separate one on the overhead. On. Off. The default Microsoft Flight Simulator KingAir Beach House. All right, here comes drone. I will say, though, the X-Plane The X-Plane models the KingAir are pretty good. He's using the Airfoil Labs KingAir, and it's pretty slick. I should actually get you guys off this screen.
It's a great airplane.
It is a great airplane. His props actually look a little bit out of sync, but it's not too bad. Hey, Drone, once again, thanks very much for flying with us tonight.
I try to fly with you as often as I can in there.
You're the best, bud. Thanks very much. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. And Disavowed's got us all set up to go. And we're going to go check out somebody new tonight. As always, if you're going to bugger off, I would ask you, please at least go into his channel and say hi. Maybe consider giving them a follow. Would really, really appreciate if you guys would just take that time until the raid's done, and then you guys can bugger off and do whatever you do. It definitely gives people a warm and fuzzy feeling. Plus, you never know, you might actually like what the gentleman has to do. So guys, until Wednesday night, we'll see you later. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. It'll be Wednesday night, 23:30 hours Zulu. We'll see you tomorrow night. Disavowed, are you ready to go?
All set.
All right, make it happen. We'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Until then, we'll talk to you then. November 30th, Alpha Kilo, Cockpitbuilders.com, live on Twitch. Have a good night, guys. See you later.